54.20.21. Okay, that's where the index is. It's the lowest level of the day, down a full 1% on the benchmark indices. And this has happened when Reliance thankfully hasn't cracked for the bulls. If you pull up the RIL chart, it's actually showing a bit of a recovery. That's quite interesting. RIL's always gone contrary to the market past couple of sessions. Today is no different. It's down just about 0.5% as we speak. Varun Goel also joins into the conversation. Varun, what's your sense? We asked this question to Vivek earlier. Do you think this is just the beginning of the fall, or this is as much as the bulls will get in terms of a buying opportunity?
Good afternoon, Subi. I think it's very difficult to take a shorter term call on what the market is going to be like in the next few days or fortnight. I would think that the global cues are very negative. They have been quite negative for some time. I think there are clear signs of very a big slowdown in US economy, and we have also heard further news of trouble in Europe. So the global cues I don't think would be supportive, at least in the short term. From a fundamental perspective, I think the markets are trading at 17 to 18 times 1-year forward earnings, and I won't be surprised with a 10% correction from these levels. From a tactical perspective, we are sitting at 10 to 15% cash in the portfolios that we are running, and in case that correction happens, it would be a good opportunity to buy quality stocks.
Would one of those quality stocks be Reliance Industries, Varun? Would you buy into that at these prices?
Well, Rahul, there is clearly lack of visibility as far as growth of Reliance Industries is concerned. I think till the time we have clarity as to what is the next growth driver, I think with the KG-D6 gas coming in and the ventures on the retail and the SEG side are not really living up to the expectations, there is a definite concern where the next leg of growth is going to come in. We have heard about shale gas acquisitions, but they aren't big enough to have a material difference to the balance sheet of Reliance Industries. So I think till the time there is more clarity, or till the time there is an acquisition which is value accretive, I think a Reliance stock could languish around these levels, at least in the medium term, short to medium term.
In fact, starting today...
Still left. Can we close above it for notional purposes, or can we not? That's the question. But what's the call, Varun, on some of these stocks? If you look at ITC as well, it's had a fairly erratic run throughout this week, and HUL has gone the other way. What's the call on FMCG? If the market starts correcting, and if you want to play defensives, what should your pick be?
I think if you look at last 1 year, the consumer stocks have done quite well. In fact, most of the large cap consumer companies are now trading at 25 to 30 times FY12 earnings. So it's very difficult to see any upside in these companies from a shorter to medium term. I would think that people would want to book profits at these levels and then probably look at entering at the lower levels. And with the way the trend has been in last 1 year, I don't think FMCG is going to be really working as a defensive in this correction, because clearly people are sitting on a lot of profits which might get unbound in this correction.
How are you positioned on banks, Varun?
I think banks have done again fantastically well in last 1 year. Probably the best performing sector has been banks. I think if you look at from a medium term perspective, a lot of PSU banks are still trading at less than 1.5 times price to book for ROE level of more than 20%. So I would think that there's still a lot of upside left there, purely because of the efficiency gains that are about to quicken. Although in the short term we might see some profit booking there also, but I would think from a medium to longer term perspective, it is best to stay invested in that space.
Well, since we're talking about banks, let's look at some analysis which the team has been indicating earlier. Varun, as we close out, quick buy ideas. The market's given you 200 points off the highest level of the rally. So when you come back to the market on Monday morning, what kind of ideas can you look for on the buy side? 2 or 3?
I think for longer term investors, I would definitely think that for the large cap real estate companies are now available at attractive valuations. I think with the kind of transactions in real estate space, especially in NCR and in Bombay, there are reasons to believe that these companies will show definitely strong earnings in the quarters to come. I would think that most of them are now trading at 25 to 30% discount to the net asset values. So I would think that is a sector which is definitely looking attractive for medium to long term investors. Another space which we think the value will probably start emerging is the metal space. I think integrated players, people who are catering to the Indian demand, should definitely benefit from the robust consumption and infrastructure story that is playing out. And again, from a medium to longer term perspective, that sector definitely is showing a lot of value at these valuations.
Varun, appreciate your time as always. Thanks so much for taking time out and joining us. We've closed out for the week and it's been quite a shocker of a day of trade.